What's up, guys? Welcome back to Perspective Podcast. I'm Coach Radigan. I'm here with Connor Harris. Today, we're going to talk quickly just about part one, I guess you can call it, of supplements. And our topic today is specifically focusing on protein. Connor, dude, there's been so many times in my life where I probably did the sketchiest stuff with protein, like the amount of protein shakes that I made that would probably be like rated an F. Like I just go through and think about that in my life. Do you ever can you even relate to that? Are you like, yeah, there's a time where I did stupid stuff with protein, or are you like, I've been clean, I've always been wise with protein?
No, I'm in the same boat with you. And for so long, I used to take way too much protein, and I didn't realize how much I was taking. But I was always gassy. I was always bloated. I was always like trying to throw down this protein shake before bed with 60 grams of protein, 2 scoops. It was thick. It was gross. And now, if I just would have known that you don't need that much based off of your diet, then things would have been a little different.
Think about the money. I literally think about the money I could save. Now, granted, there's times where I would roll up to Walmart. I'd buy like 2 or 3 of they're like little cheap tubs that have pretty much no benefit of protein. And I would, and you know the stories of the guy that we trained with in high school. Dude, I would throw like Twinkies, Ding Dongs. I would throw ice cream in there. There's one time where I threw like leftover dinner in with like a milky, chocolatey and my mom was like, "What is the matter with you?" I'm like, "I'm trying to get big. Like, you don't know me." And I just think about that all the time, man, and just how athletes, I always wonder, I'm like, I wonder how many of my athletes now fall in that category.
That's probably why you were 290.
I think I did that the right way. That might have been the right way. But anyway, man, getting into this topic, I think it's huge. One, you already mentioned like how much you actually need. Studies all over the spectrum, right? Like 3 or 4 years ago, I was telling athletes like you need 50 grams per hour. And then I read an article today from this like sports science website, and they were talking about how really our body in a healthy way can really digest about 20 to 30 grams of protein within an hour and a half. Have you done any, like heard anything on that in that regard?
Yeah, so I really didn't realize how much protein I was taking in until I started tracking all that. I was kind of just brought up with the belief when I first started working out of, hey, the more protein you can get, the better. And so, like I said earlier, I would take 2 scoops after a workout. So that's, anywhere between 40 and 50 grams. I would eat a bunch of, protein with my meals, steak, chicken, just high protein, meats and stuff like that. And then before bed, I would take another 2 scoops, and I always felt awful, but I was like, this is what it's going to take to get to where I want to be. But when I started tracking, how much I was eating and how much protein I was getting with my meals, I cut out my pre-bed shake. I just take a post-workout, one scoop, so it's 25 grams. Yeah, you definitely can take too much, and you'll know you're taking too much if you feel like crap, you're bloated, you're
sure, gassy.
It's one of those things where you don't need a whole lot, especially if you have a good diet.
Yeah, for sure. I love how you mentioned that, just like knowing how much you need and like feeling your body, right? Walking around bloated, you're never like, yep, I'm doing it right. And here's the thing one of the reasons why we want to do this podcast on this topic is because like athletes need to know, man. We need to educate athletes, because if not, they're going to end up in that rabbit hole like you and I were, or it's like, I don't know, so I'm just going to go with what I think is right, or what that dude with the giant body and small head at Supplement Superstore telling me, right? No offense, right. I have a small head too, but cool, man. So like when we talk about protein, first, like athletes need to know, what are the benefits of taking a protein supplement?
Yeah, I mean, when you think about protein, it's kind of when you think about working out, that's kind of just, you automatically talk about protein, and you just think, okay, if I work out and take protein, I'm gonna get strong, muscular, whatever your goals are. But I mean, you need protein to survive,
for sure.
But especially for athletes, protein's huge, especially with practice, workouts, games. You're breaking your body down, you're breaking your muscles down. Protein is kind of what comes in and repairs those muscles and ultimately makes you stronger. So protein is huge. Obviously, there's 100 different types of proteins, not really 100, but there's a few different. So you kind of got to do your research on that. But just the benefits of protein is endless when it comes to working out and athletes and your sport.
Yeah, and that transitions into athletics, right? Like, so, and this could be a later talk, but that's a macronutrient. You need protein to survive. Now, go on the concept of any type of training. I've had to like paint the picture for athletes. When you're training, you're not building right there. You're actually tearing down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Going out to do field work, going into the weight room, doing things like that. You're actually tearing your muscle fibers down, and proper nutrition is what builds that back up, and that's where you see a lot of gains. And part of those benefits of a good diet is, again, we need to stress so much to athletes, is that protein supplement is just supplementing, like you said, that good diet, that good nutrition, that good hydration, that good rest. I love that. And so as an athlete, you kind of, it's all the same question. As an athlete, we're taking these supplements, this protein supplement, solely to build up the muscles that I just tore down in my training regimen, right? That's what people need to see. I wouldn't go throughout a day where, I didn't work out, or all this is going on, and I'm just taking protein to supplement more protein for no reason, right? There has to be a reason for an athlete to be taking a protein supplement, would you say?
Oh, for sure. I mean, just like you just said, there's no point of, if it's your off day or you're not working out that day, to just get up and start drinking protein shakes throughout the day.
Yeah.
You got to think of it. It's just like a meal, essentially. It doesn't have all the other, nutrients that you need in it. But if you're just taking it just to take it, you're really not getting a ton of benefit from it, because if let's say you're drinking a protein shake with your meal, if you're taking too much protein in, it's just gonna be a waste, right?
Yeah.
Your body's gonna just get rid of it. So
you're gonna digest it, or you're gonna store it as body. The excess is gonna be stored as body.
Right. And I spent way too much money just taking way too much protein, especially powder. I mean, I probably wasted thousands and thousands of dollars because I'm thinking, okay, I got to take 2 scoops. I got to get 60 grams in,
dude,
or whatever it is. And it's just a waste. So, I mean, there's definitely good things with it, but there's also, you can waste it as well.
Yeah, and I think you touched upon this in another video that Perspective posted, was how to gain weight. And so specifically for athletics, like, I think you need to learn what your BMR is. Like, how many calories do I burn just living life? And that's part of it. And then you figure out what your caloric intake needs to be in order for you to maintain weight or gain weight, right? So now part of it as an athlete, it's like, hey, I'm already eating a good enough diet to sustain me, but I need more. And so I think part of that would be that protein supplement to aid in that caloric deficit. For me, I can burn 500 calories doing a workout. For me, I can sit on the couch, and because I sweat brushing my teeth, I'm burning calories just doing that. And so I know that that's part of it too, is athletes have to track what calories they need, what nutrients they need. And I think that's a big important point for athletes.
Right. Now, one thing on that, I don't know. I think it's probably around the same time with you. When I was in high school, I'm sure when you were in high school, even now today, I've seen it with some of the kids I coach. The big thing was, I need to gain weight, so I'm going to go to GNC and get the weight gain formula. And when you look at it, it's like, you got to take 4 scoops at a time. It's 2,000 calories, and you get like 10 servings a bottle, and it's like $60. And I just tell these kids, the biggest waste of money. You're just might as well just go throw $60 out the window driving by, because half the time you can't even drink it because it tastes so bad.
Yeah.
And then you drink it and you don't want to eat for 8 hours. So you got to, if your goal is to gain weight, the best way is to eat, whole foods, is to eat meals, not take supplements every hour because you're trying to get calories in. So I don't know why that reminded me of, when you were talking, reminded me of that, but
I feel you
got to be careful with that.
That's a good point too. So now, okay, I'm an athlete. You and I are talking about just taking a protein supplement, and then it's so easy to get deceived by what your friends might be taking, what anybody at some type of store that's selling supplements, what they could tell you should be taking. So without making it super difficult, the next question is, what do I look for when buying a protein? You and I touched on a couple of these topics just in our discussion earlier, but it's like, so Connor, I walk into the store, how do I know what protein I should be taking as an athlete where I don't get swayed or influenced by the person just trying to make a sale?
Right. So I think there's a couple different things, and not to go into a whole lot of detail, but first, you're going to get, when you go walk into the protein aisle, okay, there's going to be 5 different types of proteins. You got whey isolate, whey concentrate, casein protein, like all these different blends where it's, feeding your muscles for 8 hours straight. Like you will get consumed by that. I just look for the whey isolate protein. It's quick digesting. I want something quick after my workout. I work out in the morning, so I need something quick that's going to digest so I can eat breakfast an hour and a half later. So I look for that. Try not to get wrapped up in all these different labels that say that it's got a blend of every great protein you need. I also look for NSF certified, especially as an athlete, college, high school, even professional. You never know what's in those labels. We've hit on it a million times, but NSF certified, third-party testing, that label is 100% transparent. So along with the label, you also want to find a protein that, you look at the ingredients list and it's maybe 3 or 4 or 5 maybe ingredients. You look at some of these proteins, especially the cheaper options, and I've taken them before, go to Costco and, hey, trying to be on a budget and you're getting this, 80 serving bag for $30. You're thinking, oh, this is awesome. And you look at the bag and there's
I'd buy right now.
30 ingredients, and you break it down. You're like, I'm not even getting really any protein. It's all fillers. It's all artificial sweeteners. It's all a bunch of crap that's not going to fuel my body. So you're better off, finding it might be more expensive, less servings, but you're getting your bang for your buck. It's NSF certified. It's clean. Try not to get wrapped up in these labels and what it's telling you you're getting. Look at the back and make sure that first ingredient is whey protein. If it's not, or if it's got 30 different ingredients, then you should probably, look for something else.
Yeah, and I think that's a big one too that I just try and highlight with athletes. Being a high school teacher, and I teach, health class to freshmen, and one of the things is nutrition, and I try and tell them there's so many like common names for sugar. So I could have a nutrition label that says 0 sugar, right? But in the ingredients you might see dextrose, fructose, glucose, maltose, and but people are like, oh, there's 0 sugar. It's like, no, homie, the third ingredient is a code word for sugar. And so I think it's hard too. So without having a kid be a scientist, right? We're not telling people to start studying nutrition and science, but I think part of it is to teach athletes, when you go in to buy a protein for yourself, look for a shorter ingredient list. If I pull up one brand, I pull up the next, and I'm comparing these nutrition labels, I want to make sure, I want to narrow down a shorter ingredient list, right? Like you said, NSF certified, and then also avoiding those artificial sweeteners and those hidden sugars. So, I think that's a good point, and it's an easy way for an athlete to kind of self-assess what should I be taking.
Yeah, and it's easy just to go in there and follow those quick steps, right? You don't have to be a rocket scientist or have a degree in nutrition to be able to look at that and say, okay, this one has 30 ingredients, this one has 5, this one's NSF certified, this one has some sketchy red label that I don't even never heard of this brand. So you should. It's a good, quick, easy way where you're not spending an hour at the store asking a million questions. Because a lot of those guys at the store, they're not athletes. They don't play sports in college or high school, and so they don't really care if the product's safe or not. They're just trying to make a buck. So you really got to look out for yourself.
That's good stuff, man. Connor, I appreciate you. As we're getting into the topics of supplements, I love this, hitting the first one, protein, because that's what kids are going to get most excited about in the very beginning. And then in future episodes, we'll dive into some, pre-workout, creatine, intra-workout stuff. But, man, other than that, Connor, thank you for your time, brother. I appreciate you just sharing some wisdom. All right, man. Thanks.